Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now, in this video, I'm gonna be showing you 3 ways that you can speed up the process of attracting what you want in your life. And really understanding this from a more broad point of view so that you're then able to really get the effects that you want. Now, I recently did a video on the idea of removing the blocks behind the law of attraction that we might have about what we think about it. And this is kind of an extension to that video and really has the ability to give you that little extra motivation that you might need to make little tiny changes with the way that you think to then get a better result in life. Now, the first one has to do with something that I am going through right now, and it has to do with understanding the process of the law of attraction from a new point of view, because certain parts are really underemphasized. And I've talked about this a little bit before, but it's really so powerful, and I encourage you guys to really begin to apply it. Now, it's the understanding of why it is so important that we take massive action. Now, for the longest time, I looked at the idea of the law of attraction, and I thought that it was just completely about the idea of thinking, of sitting there focused on what you want and beginning to then see the reflection in life of what we want. Now, that could be a part of the equation, but the idea is that that's only half the equation, because the other half is that that's like the etheric part of it, the thinking part of it, the non-physical part of it, but then you have the idea of the physical part of it. And the only way to really have more exponential results in life is to take massive action. Now, this is something I'm going through, especially when it comes to the idea of me creating YouTube videos. So before, I was creating maybe 1 video a week, sometimes 2. It would be about 4 to 6 videos a month. And that was something I would do, and I rationalized that and told myself that I was working hard because I was pretty much like constantly editing or doing something or learning about what I could be talking about. So I was doing some part of the whole process. But what I realized was that if I want to expand and speed up the process, the idea is that I need to begin taking a lot more action. So in a moment, I just decided that I was going to create, whereas before, 1 or 2 videos a week, I'm gonna start creating videos every single day. And it completely changes my energy, because now that I am creating more and taking more action, it's completely changed how I feel. It changes my energy levels, and I just find myself more readily at a certain state. Because this puts me into a flow state, I feel like that leaks into other areas of my life. Now, on the other side of this, I am seeing better results, more interaction. I'm meeting more people that are in the industry, or there's more opportunities that are opening up. It's about understanding that every time you take action, you are aligning yourself and opening up a filter of opportunities, and any of those opportunities can come through once you begin taking action. Look at it like the more action you take, the more you begin to shift yourself towards seeing those opportunities or towards getting the results that you want. So the first one is just simply take massive action. Now, the second one, to speed up the idea of the law of attraction, will have to do with looking at subconscious beliefs. And I know I talk a lot about this, but I think that is something that has so much power, because many times these beliefs that we have are on autopilot. We're not necessarily consciously aware of what they are, but once we become aware of them, we can see that it no longer resonates with us. So I've had unconscious beliefs before that, money in general is like a negative thing. I grew up kind of thinking that, and always associating when you see people having problems with money, or especially parents or people that you're close to, the idea is that you then start to associate a negative connotation with the idea of money. So even though later on in life, you get a job, you decide that you want to make money, you study personal development, eventually you get to a place to where you must remove the idea that money is necessarily evil. You can see money as more of an exchange of energy than something that inherently has evil built into it. And what I began to do was to then see it more as a tool than anything else, and more of an exchange that we use for energy. And because of that, it's shifted it so where now that I'm aware that I had that belief, it then starts to kind of fizzle out, where now it doesn't have nearly as much power over me as it used to. So the way that you do this is you simply ask, what would I would have to believe is true in order to have the experience that I'm having? And as you begin to ask the questions, your brain will start to look for the answers, and you will start to get reflections, maybe through synchronicity or through just using your mind, as to what that is. And then you can pinpoint it onto a certain experience, and then you can actually let it go, because once you become aware of it, you see that that is no longer who you are, and that is the end of the process. So it's really just about understanding that at first what we can do is begin to take massive action, and then realize that we can then put ourselves to a point of removing some subconscious beliefs that we have by asking ourselves the question, what would I have to believe is true for me to continue to have this type of experience? Now, the third way that we can go about this is understanding the power of emotion. Now, when we use the idea of emotion, it's something that you can really feel. Now, a lot of times when people use the idea of affirmations, what they do is they say some phrase over and over again. They might look into the mirror and say to themselves, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, and say it over and over again with absolutely no conviction and no enthusiasm, no emotion. Now, the key to this is understanding that when we begin to put more emotion into what we do, you could look into the mirror and say, I love myself, or whatever it is, like, this is what I'm creating. I am so excited about this. And if you do it with enough passion, you eventually will begin to feel that within. And understand that emotion is like the driving force. It's what makes everything much more potent. So if you focus on what you want, a natural side effect of that is that you begin to feel more passionate. That's why doing activities that bring you passion will start to leak into other areas of your life, like it's kind of worked with me. And you can choose to do things that bring more emotion by understanding that the more you focus on things that you love doing, the more you will naturally begin to feel it, and then you can use that emotion towards whatever you're doing. You can use that emotion as motivation, you can use it towards the idea of affirmations and looking in the mirror and saying things with conviction and power. And as you begin to do that, you'll find that things begin to happen much quicker, because a lot of times the way that we can change the way that our brain works and rewire ourselves, even more power than thinking, is the idea of emotion, because emotion goes beyond the idea of words and a lot of times gets to our core more powerfully. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and understand that anything you want, if you take massive action, if you remove and change the subconscious beliefs that might be holding you back, and you begin to just keep on doing it with emotion, that you'll begin to feel more powerful and you'll begin to actually get the reflection that you want. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it, share it if you found it of value, and as always, I will see you guys on the next vid. Alright, peace, much love, namaste. Alright, bye.